Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know about Othello, or let me say you need a summary about Othello, the play by Shakespeare, this is what this video is all about. So I'm going to be summarizing it for you. So if you have an exam on Othello, you need to know about the style, the summary, the themes. You should watch this video till the end. So let me start by summarizing the whole play to you. So Othello is a story about love, about jealousy, about betrayal, about racism. Okay, so the main character in this play is Othello, and Othello is a respected black military general in Venice. Yeah, so Othello falls in love and secretly marries a white woman named Desdemona. Please ignore my wrong pronunciation of their names. So one of Othello's soldiers called Lago, yeah, becomes jealous and angry. Why? Because Othello gave a promotion to another soldier called Cassio. So instead of him, so Lago, expected that he should get a promotion, but he didn't get it. So because of that, Lago begins a wicked plan to trick Othello into believing that Desdemona is cheating on him with Cassio. So, Othello finds out, he becomes so jealous, confused, and he kills Desdemona, his wife. And after he learns the truth, he kills himself. So the play is a tragedy. Okay, so very quickly, let's go through so that's basically the summary. Please, that does not mean you should not read the book because there are a lot of gist that I have to skip to make this video very short. So let's talk about the character. We have Othello, the black general in the Venetian, yes, Venice. So Venetian army. So the Othello is honest, brave, but easily manipulated. Then we also have Desdemona. That's Othello's loving wife. She's faithful and kind, but wrongly accused. And we have Lago, the villain of the play. So he's clever and dangerous and he manipulates everyone. And we have Cassio, Othello's lawyer. I said lawyer. Don't mind me. Othello's lawyer. I want to say lawyer lieutenant. Yeah, innocent, but it was used as a bait in Lago's plan. And then we have Lago's wife, Emilia. Yeah, Emilia was also Desdemona's maid. So she later exposes Lago, and Lago was arrested, but Othello killed himself. So let's look at the themes in Othello. We have jealousy. Okay, so what about jealousy? If you want to talk about jealousy, you know that you also need to give instances from the play. So we can mention how jealousy destroys Othello, right? And leads to tragedy. And we also have manipulation. I mean, Lago tricks Othello. I mean, literally tricks everyone by pretending to be honest. He gets, it tricks everyone. So I mentioned we have jealousy, we have manipulation, and we also have trust and betrayal. So in this case, we have Othello trusting Lago instead of his wife. You get to, and then of course Lago betrays him. And then another theme that we have is racism. People criticize Othello for marrying a white woman. I mean, he's black and he married a white woman, so you should be able to narrate that story as well. And then we also have the theme of love and tragedy. True love is destroyed by what? By lies. So we have theme of love and tragedy. So talking about the lessons from the book Othello, because you can ask to talk about what's the subject matter, what are the lessons that one can pick from this play. You can talk about um you should not believe everything you hear. So if Othello had not believed what Lago said and had done proper investigation, I mean, would have killed himself, talking of killing his wife. And then jealousy can destroy lives. That's another lesson that you can pick from it. And also racism and prejudice can cause pain and division. And trust should be earned. Yes, trust should be earned, and when it's earned, it should not be misused. I mean, Lago actually Othello trusted Lago, and he misused that opportunity. So let's talk about, before I do a recap, let's talk about the literary devices and techniques used in this play. So we have irony. So um irony, we can talk about how Lago is called the honest Lago in the play, but this guy is nothing close to being honest. So he's the most dishonest. And we can also say that we have soliloquy. You know what soliloquy means. So I want to say this: when you're being asked to talk about the literary devices and techniques, please and please explain the literary devices first. I mean, now you pick irony, explain what it means before you now start giving instances in the textbook. And then you have soliloquy. That was when Lago talks to himself, when he shares his evil plans, with the audience. That's soliloquy. I mean, he wasn't talking to, so people, the other characters in the play, they are literally not hearing what he's saying. So he's talking to himself, but the audience, I mean, we could hear because we are reading the play, right? And then we have foreshadowing. So we hear Lagos says he hates Othello, right? So it means that we, the reader of the play, we already had an hint that Lago might do something bad to Othello at the end of the play. So it's kind of gave us hint of what is coming. And we also have symbolism, I mean, the handkerchief, represents Desdemona's love, and its loss, the loss of the handkerchief actually causes chaos. So let me quickly say this before, because I want to do act by act scene. I'm still going back to act by acting, but I want to make sure I touch the important things. So they can ask you that, why is Othello a tragedy? So you know that Othello is the title of the book itself, and it's also the name of the character. So why is Othello a tragedy? First off, when a play is a tragedy, what it means is that there is a tragic hero in it. In this case, Othello is the tragic hero. That's Othello, the character. He's the tragic hero. And every tragic hero, we have a tragic flaw. What's the tragic flaw of Othello in this case? We can say jealousy, because that's one of the things that led to his death. We can say jealousy and probably insecurity. Yeah. So when they ask you to talk about this play as a tragedy, you start with that and then give instances of um how he expresses insecurity and jealousy. And you now talk about this tragic flaw led to his downfall, right? And then his downfall is caused by a mix of personal weakness and also external manipulation by Lago. And then you can talk about how the play ends in sorrow and death, making it a Shakespearean, tragedy. So there are different questions they can ask you. They can ask you, how is jealousy portrayed in Othello? I expect to talk about how Othello's transformation, how we transformed from being noble to violent. So you understand? So that's how jealousy was portrayed here. Othello, that is seen as a noble person, became violent, and use Lago's quote about jealousy. Please, you have to quote. That's why you need to read the book so that you'll be able to, even if it's a short quote, you should be able to do that. So I also want they can ask you, in what ways is Lago the real villain in this play? So explain how he lies, how he manipulates people, and how he causes every tragedy without regrets. Please don't cram, you cannot even cram the whole play, but please use quotes, even if it's short ones, to support your answers. And always explain why something happens. You are a literature student, you have to write a lot. So don't be tired of writing. Just make sure that you keep the time that's been allocated to your exam. Explain why something happens, not just what happened, and practice past questions. I always tell my students, practice your question before the exam. Give your set questions for yourself. Practice it. Practice writing the answer first so that you know where you are struggling, so that you can, sort all of that. And by the time you are done with that, you'll be able to what? To get to the exam on and be able to do well in your exam. So is there any other question? They can ask you to discuss the role of women in this play. So you're talking about Desdemona, the obedient and loving wife, and then Emilia, the brave truth teller. So you can contrast both of them, discuss how they are treated by men and all of that. So I think I've covered most of the things that I plan to cover here. So let me just quickly go to the act by act breakdown of this play. So this is what I want you to know. Okay, just 1 second, please. I don't know why there is a playback. Just give me some minutes, please. Okay. Um, yeah, so sorry about that. So I was saying that I wanted to give you an act by act breakdown, like a simple summary of this thing. So let's start with Act One. Act One, and I'll be talking about how Othello secretly marries Desdemona. That's what happened in Act One. A father, that's Desdemona's father, was angry, and Lagos starts his plan to destroy Othello. And then in Act Two, they all travel to Cyprus. They all travel to Cyprus, and Lagos gets Cassio drunk. Because of that, Cassio loses his job, and Lago advises Cassio to beg Desdemona for help. You are following now. So in Act 3, Lago uses Desdemona's kindness to make Othello suspicious. That, why is Cassio with Desdemona and all of that? So he lies that Desdemona gave Cassio a special handkerchief. You should go and read that book to know the story about that handkerchief. Then in Act 4, Othello is consumed by jealousy. He plans to kill Desdemona, and Desdemona is confused as well, but still loves him. And in Act 5, Othello kills Desdemona. Emilia then exposes Lago's lies to Othello, and Othello kills himself, and Lago is arrested. So I already talked about the themes. I mentioned jealousy. Lago is jealous of Cassio, and then Othello becomes jealous of Desdemona. So let's say I want to talk about jealousy now, and I want to quote. I can talk about where Lago said, "Oh, beware, my lord of jealousy, it is the green-eyed monster." You can quote that, okay? And we have another thing that I want to mention, the theme of pretense. Yeah, Lago pretends to be loyal but is evil inside. And I think I already mentioned racism. Othello is called names because he's black, even though he's successful and noble. And I already mentioned trust and betrayal. How Othello trusts Lago more than Desdemona. Emilia trusts her husband as well, and everyone pays the price for trusting the wrong people. And we have love and tragedy. I already talked about how Othello and Desdemona love each other deeply, but lies ruin their love. So I think that's basically all I have for you for Othello. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have not followed this page, if you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe to this page. I'm begging you, and please share with your friends. See you in my next video. Bye.